momento, prego, la chiamano per una collettiva. Bleiben Sie bitte am Apparat, Sie werden für ein Konferenzgespräch verlangt. Un instant, s'il vous plaît, on vous demande pour une conversation conférence. Un moment.
Pronto? Ciao Poppy! Adesso vi passo Chiara!
We're going on a tour around the world. It'll take a bit of time because the world's quite big.
È una conferenza telefonica.
It's a conference call where I give a strong spiritual thought that we can live together. When we call the zones and they answer, "Hello, how are you?" So it's the life of a family. It's wonderful.
Meraviglia.
Its aim is to help us go on a holy journey, a journey towards holiness.
Perché hanno vestiti.
Non mancherà sempre generale.
I'm very much looking forward now to come to the General Assembly.
On my way from New York. See you soon. A presto.
Hello everyone, a warm welcome to this new link up. My name is Andrea Fleming. I'm a journalist and I work and I live in Augsburg, Germany. And today with us there's also Anita Tano from Argentina. She's sitting in the hall. Anita, when will we hear from you? Hello everyone. I'm here to share with you the messages that will be coming from all over the world. So you can, right from now, send your messages, your photos, greetings to the number that you see on the screen. +39 320 419 7109.
Thank you, Anita. We'll be back to you immediately, but I'm Paolo. I'm a journalist like Andrea, but I'm Italian. I'm very happy to be with you today. As you can see today, we will have a different format of the link up to the normal one. We're not at the International Center, but we are here at the Mariapoli Center in Castel Gandolfo, just a few kilometers away from Rome.
In fact, today's link up is a special one, a bit different from the usual ones. First of all, you've seen this hall, which is nearly packed. There were about 1,000 people, all friends around surrounding areas of Rome and various parts of Italy. So welcome to all of you.
Okay, as you can imagine, we could not possibly miss an international presence in the Link Up. And this time it's even more stronger than usual. Why? Because from the 1st to the 21st of March, right here at the Mariapoli Center, we had the General Assembly of the Focolare Movement. And just imagine, there were 300 people, over 300, representing all the communities of the movement. And after all, it's us, all of us around the world. So there were representatives of 8 Christian churches, people from different cultures, religions.
Some of the participants we've already seen in our introduction opening video, and participants have come from all over the world. But because of the international situation was really difficult in the Middle East, some people were stranded in Dubai, for example, and others had to return home and not being able to arrive here. Still others, after 3 intense weeks of being here, they're already on their way home. And so now, in this moment, we are going to have a very exciting journey. And of course, we greet Margaret Karam, the president of the Focolare Movement. And Roberto Almada, our new co-president.
It was necessary to give you a clap, but before we take this trip Andrea was talking about, let's go around the world as we usually do at the very beginning of the Link Up. So we'd like to link up at least with some of the communities in the various continents, and in the meantime, let's give a special greeting to all those who, for the very first time during this streaming, can listen to us directly, imagine, in Arabic language. Can you listen? Okay, let's see if they are linked up now. First of all, we go to a different continent, a different date, because we're already on Monday in New Zealand. Are you there? Can you hear us? Welcome. Over there, it's already Monday morning. Just imagine.
Good morning. Kia ora. Hola. Bonjour. Ciao. I'm Caitlin. We are here in the Focolare in the early hours of Wellington, New Zealand. What a joy it is to be part of this link up with all of you. We have followed closely the assembly with all of you, though we are on the other side of the world. Margaret and Roberto, and all of you in the world, we are sending you.
Ciao, grazie.
Ciao, thank you so much.
And from New Zealand, we go to other parts of the world, in Canada, in Montreal. Are you there? Yes, we're here. Thank you, Paolo and Andrea. Hello to everyone. My name is Manon. I'm Canadian. I'm part of the Focolare in Montreal, Canada. And in this moment, together with some members of the local community, we're at the men's Focolare. It's 1 p.m. here, and we're delighted to send you all a heartfelt greeting, even though outside it's still snowing. Special greetings from all of us to Margaret and Roberto and the whole new center. All our unity from everyone here.
And now, we are particularly glad to send you a big hug to the community in Ukraine. Here they are.
Щиро дякуємо за молитву, підтримку та вашу допомогу. Ми разом молимося та живемо заради миру у світі.
We are in Ukraine. Some of the communities are great. Thank you for all your prayers, for your closeness and your practical help. We're here to pray and work for unity in the world. Greetings to everyone. Yeshua, we are with you. Absolutely.
And then from Ukraine, we go to Burundi, Bujumbura. Good evening to everyone. We send our greetings from the Men's Focolare in Bujumbura, Burundi. I'm Gino from Italy, and I'm Maria Goretti. I'm from Burundi. We represent the communities of Burundi and Rwanda. Many are connected via YouTube. Here with us, there are the Gen, the Volunteers of God, priests, men and women Focolarini, and we are all so delighted for this family moment and the worldwide communion. We say thank you to you in Kurundi.
Thank you. Greetings to you as well. And next, we're going to Brazil in Amazonia. Here they are.
Boa tarde a todos. Aqui reunidos em Juruti, no coração da Amazônia, com crianças, jovens e adultos. Aqui reunidos para apresentar nossa pequena cidade no Brasil. E juntos acreditamos que pequenos gestos de amor podem transformar pessoas, comunidade e o mundo.
Sì, siamo tutti qui, di tutta la nostra comunità.
Yes, we are here from our communities with all the internal members. So everyone, we want to believe that through small gestures of love, we can transform not just ourselves, but also the communities and the whole world together with all of you. Hello to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And from there, we go to the Middle East. In Syria, we're in Aleppo. We are here in Aleppo in the Men's Focolare, and we present the whole movement from Damascus and Homs and the whole of Syria. And we thank you because we really felt your closeness in these moments. And we also offer everything for the new government of the movement. And we greet you all. Bye. We are very happy.
Thank you. And now we come back to Europe, and let's go to Slovakia, Bratislava. Here they are, from all ages. We are linked from Slovakia, the zone center, Men's Focolare, and we're very happy to be able to greet you. Special greetings at the end of the General Assembly to live together this moment of family life. And we're very happy that you give us news so we can participate to what is happening there. Ciao, greetings from all of us.
What a surprise. Thank you. Fantastic. This going around the whole world. One of perhaps the most eagerly awaited moments was undoubtedly during the assembly was the election of the president and co-president. I'm sure you have read the updates and perhaps you have seen a few photos. But now let's watch the video footage of those very exciting moments.
So now, the moment has arrived. The Assembly has expressed its decision. It has elected Margaret Karam as President of the Work of Mary by an overwhelming majority. I must officially ask if Margaret is willing to accept. Are you willing to accept the position?
By the grace of God and with all your help, I accept.
I've been given the go-ahead, so I can announce that the Assembly has elected the new co-president of the Work of Mary. The co-president is Roberto Almada. As you know, I must now ask the formal question as to whether he accepts this position.
By God's grace and with the special protection of Mary, with Margaret's trust and the help of all of you, I accept.
Well, Margaret and Roberto, it was beautiful to live through this moment of family embraces. You're being so moved. But what was it really like for you, Margaret?
It was really, as you have seen, a moment of a lot of emotion. And then I remembered in that moment when they were saying my name and I saw all the participants. It was like a lightning flash. The election of 2021 came to my mind, where I was here in Castel Gandolfo in a room by myself in front of a screen, and I had to accept my yes to that election. And I was alone, and I knew that I was saying yes to Jesus, but this time, saying this new yes to this calling, I was with many brothers and sisters. And then the moment when I came down the stage to have all these hugs and these gazes and this support, I really felt that it was an embrace of the whole world who was encouraging me in this yes, out of love for God, to be at the service of the movement and to be at the service of the church. So it was really a beautiful moment. And for you, Roberto, how did you feel in that moment?
I think that the images could show the feelings. All of a sudden, you feel you give your life. Certainly, when you become a Focolarino, you give the whole of your life. But I felt that it was a moment where I felt my whole life was going to Mary, to Our Lady, through the Focolare movement. And just as well, there was African dances, there's embraces. So I'd really managed to mellow down the emotion, otherwise I would have been crying.
And following Margaret Roberto's election, we received many messages from all over the world and from various types of people, people who know us well, who sent best wishes, but also people from outside who sent messages, even distinguished individuals. And Margaret saying that she received more than 700 messages of best wishes. I don't know if you answered all of them, but now you have an occasion. She said more or less she answered them all. But we want to read some of these messages, at least of some of them we've received from distinguished individuals and also moderators of movements and communities. And one of these people was Cardinal Kurt Koch, the prefect for the Dicastery for Promoting Christian Unity. And he wrote, "I believe that the charism of unity is more necessary than ever in order to face today's challenges. I would like to renew my gratitude to you for your commitment in guiding the movement and to entrust your service to the Lord of history."
Another message came from His Eminence Cardinal Adalberto Martinez Flores, who is the Metropolitan Archbishop of Asunción in Paraguay. And this is what it says: "At a time marked by so much tension, conflict, and suffering in various parts of the world, this spirituality of unity continues to be a light and a path of hope for the entire human family."
And then Professor Jerry Pillay, the General Secretary of the World Council of Churches, wrote, "We greatly value our collaboration with the Focolare movement and look forward to continuing this journey together. Please be assured of our prayers and best wishes as you begin this new term of office."
As well as Gerard Pross of Together for Europe and Brother Matthew Thorpe, prior of the Taizé community. And among the many messages received from friends of many were from friends from other faiths.
For example, from Rabbi David Rosen, Special Advisor of the Abrahamic Family House in Abu Dhabi, and he wrote, "May the Lord's Prayer continue to bless you in all things. With love, David."
And then a prominent Muslim figure writes, "I would like to send you my prayers and best wishes for renewed energy, that you may continue to be inspired by God and that you may bring much light into this world."
And another person who wrote to us is Kosho Niwano. She is the president of Risha Kosekai, a Buddhist movement, who concludes her message by expressing her best wishes. "It is with great joy and deep appreciation that we continue to walk together along the path of dialogue and collaboration." So messages from all over the world that show the great esteem that they have for you. The great esteem.
But how much this assembly has been truly been followed all around the world. Now we spoke about the election of Margaret. Margaret, we know each other over the last 5 years. We've got to know you more. But we'd like to really make the most of today, this new election, as a new beginning. Therefore, also for those who just arrived in the movement now, we will tell something of yourself and of these last 5 years we lived together.
Margaret Karam is the third president of the Focolare movement, after the foundress Chiara Lubich and Maria Emmaus Voce. She was first elected president by the General Assembly in 2021 and was re-elected for a second term on March 12, 2026. A Christian Arab, she was born in Haifa, Israel, in 1962. When she was 14, she got to know the Focolare movement and when she was 23, she consecrated herself to God as a focolarina. Over the years, she has visited numerous communities of the Focolare movement around the world. She has always had a strong commitment to dialogue, from dialogue within the Catholic Church to that between Christian churches, from relationships with other religions to exchanges with civil and religious figures. She works alongside people from various countries of different ages and from diverse cultures, sowing the seeds of peace everywhere and building true universal fraternity. In 2022, Pope Francis invited her to take part in the Synod of the Catholic Church on synodality at the Vatican. 3 years later, she became a member of the Dicastery for the Laity, the Family, and Life. In 2025, she published the book, Closeness, The Path to Peace, Pages of Life, a text in which she weaves together her autobiography, a spiritual reflection, and a proposal for closeness as the key to overcoming contemporary divisions. I had experienced firsthand that dialogue is an essential instrument for achieving unity and peace, writes Margaret in her book, and that not knowing one another generates fear, which in turn leads to hatred. That is why I believe it is important to approach others with respect, to get to know them and discover the unique story of every person and every nation.
And of Roberto Almada, we know that you are from Argentina, and we know that even he received many messages, especially from the Southern Cone. And now we would like to get to know you better too. So we've prepared a profile together of you two.
Roberto Almada is a focolarino and priest from Argentina. He was born in Rosario in 1956. His mother was a housewife and his father a trade unionist, from whom he learned the value of helping the poor. It was precisely to serve the most disadvantaged that Roberto chose to study medicine and then psychiatry, following Viktor Frankl's existential analysis. He also has a PhD in philosophy and was one of the founders of the School of Logotherapy in Uruguay and Paraguay. He got to know the ideal of unity during the 1976 Mariapolis in Cordoba, Argentina, and decided to spend a year at Mariapolis Lea in O'Higgins. It was here that his vocation to the Focolare matured. After 2 years, he moved to the international little town of the movement in Lopiano, Italy, for the Formation School for Focolarini. He then went to the Focolare House in Montevideo, Uruguay, and after 10 years to Asunción, Paraguay. He has taught at the Sophia University Institute for Latin America and the Caribbean, and at the Logos Institute in Caserta, Italy. He has worked with the New Families movement, taking ahead projects to support couples and families. He is the author of the book, The Burnout of the Good Samaritan, which has been translated into several languages, and co-author of The Challenge of Married Couples. He collaborated with the International Center of the Men Focolarini for 10 years, and then served as counselor of that center from 2014 to 2021. Recently, he has been living in Buenos Aires, working for the movement in the Southern Cone in the area of evangelization, supporting local communities. He has gained considerable experience in ecclesial and educational settings across various Latin American countries. He has also worked in youth ministry and in the social sector with migrants. The General Assembly of the Focolare movement elected him co-president on March 12, 2026.
The General Assembly began with a 3-day spiritual retreat, an opportunity to return to our roots and explore certain topics with a focus on the present day. A new feature of this assembly was the presence of 7 experts, friends and key figures from different cultures and fields who, during those days, shared their insights and addressed various questions that concern not only the Focolare movement, but the whole world. It's impossible to summarize this, but we will share at least a few excerpts of their valuable contributions.
Spirit of God, come and open the doors of our hearts to infinity. Open our charity to the problems of the world, to all the needs of humanity. This invocation of Jean Galot introduced the 3-day retreat of the General Assembly, a time to listen to the Spirit and to address the questions of our time. Through the voices of women and men working in their various fields, capable of interpreting the wounds and the potential of the world, this is their perspective.
Where is the crucified Christ today in this vast universe of social inequality? A faith that touches wounds manifests itself as service, never as power. When it raises its voice, it will be for others, not for itself. Jesus Forsaken is a way and a method, and at the same time teaching us to work on networks, on bridges, building processes that go beyond classes and class struggles, paving the way for the reconstruction of relationships between the center and the periphery and the periphery and the center.
I remember how much Chiara loved the contemporary issues and the modernity that she herself lived. Today we're in a different world, but we must not undervalue our times. And as Christians, we are a people of peace. And I believe that the culture of peace must emerge from every aspect of the life of this people. I believe that movements, because of their global commitment, must be agents of peace. I think that this is necessary and that it is our vocation.
Penso che questo sia necessario e sia la nostra vocazione.
I'm privileged to belong to the larger Focolare family, where love in its purest form binds us and empowers us to realize our faith in building a more peaceful and a more united world. I think, most importantly, a spiritual formation leaves you secure and confident that you matter, and what you do makes this world a better place. It helps create that active link, that transformative bridge between the being and the doing, between today and tomorrow.
Today we need networks. We need to build a network of people of goodwill, Catholics, Christians, and also non-Christians. A network built solely on data connections, artificial intelligence, and etc. will not give us the beauty of encounter. The Focolare movement conveys this message of communion, unity, and the possibility of transforming an increasingly distant world.
Sempre più lontano.
The challenge is to recover those dimensions of freedom that are not possible within the system as it is. You have been inspired by Chiara Lubich. That is, you are who you are because this life has spoken to you and set you in motion. And this is an inspiration that becomes life in an original way. This is freedom. And freedom is not only not to be afraid of being committed, but requires it in order to be fulfilled.
What matters is who uses the science. Who uses the science, and how we, as humans, decide to use the science. What are our responsibilities? At Sophia, we've been working very hard on this to create a human oath, just like doctors take a Hippocratic oath. Everyone implementing AI should take an oath to do no harm and to be conscious of the decisions they're making every day. And we're going to be introducing it at universities across the world. It's never too late to give agency to humans, to put the human back at the heart of what we do, to put God back at the heart of what we do.
Anita, we haven't forgotten about you. Have you received any messages yet? Yes, there are very beautiful messages who they are writing from the communities that have come together to share with this moment with us, which is so special. They are connected and they greet us from Iringita, Tanzania, Tierra del Fuego, Mendoza, Argentina, from the community of Luxembourg and Naples, Caserta, Ravenna in Italy, from Manila in the Philippines, from Mariapolis Gineta in Brazil, from Madrid, Sevilla in Spain, from the little town Arcoiris in Portugal, and many beautiful photos are arriving from these communities, and they also tell us all their unities from the community of Matera to live together for this new adventure. And another message from Brazil, from Ourinhos, the state of São Paulo. Like a family, we are together with everyone. May this new phase of the movement be filled with the Holy Spirit and someone else. There's a great joy each link up to see that a more united world is possible with all brothers and sisters from the big family of Chiara. Greetings from Portugal. And also another one. Dear everyone, greetings for you from the community of Arequipa in Peru. We are meeting together to live together as a wonderful family, rejoicing in this special moment. We live together and go ahead, all our unity.
Thank you, Anita. I would actually give a huge clap to all the communities that in this moment are following us through streaming and writing to us, because this is a living witness that we're a great family, and it seems like we're all there here in the same hall. Thank you, Anita, and we'll come back to you later. In the meantime, let's move on. After the retreat, the Assembly began in the main part of its work, 6 days dedicated to exploring 9 topics that had emerged from the proposals received from individuals and communities of the entire movement. Working groups were 30, they were led by facilitators. Now, we have 5 years to go depth, to explore in greater depth and to continue what has been begun here. But in the meantime, what are the feelings, the expectations and impressions of those who have experienced these moments here? Let's hear them, the voices of the Assembly.
This year, I was invited to the 2026 General Assembly, and to be honest, I'm truly grateful for this experience. It was absolutely brilliant because we were able to explore the various topics and examine them in depth, not to mention how much I gained from the experience personally. As it's Ramadan, I've been fasting these past few days, but I didn't feel the need to eat or drink, as the atmosphere was so heartwarming. Everyone kept coming up to me to ask if I was okay. I really felt a deep sense of empathy. I believe it was precisely that love that gave me the strength and kept me going.
This is the first time I have taken part in the General Assembly. By meeting people who have come from all over the world and taking part in the group discussions, I have been able to gain a better understanding of the different aspects of the movement. The various topics we discussed were extremely important to me. They help me to broaden my thinking and expand my horizons. Now, returning to my zone of East Asia, I would like to give careful thought to how we can put into practice, in our own context, what has emerged from this assembly. A heartfelt thank you to everyone for all your hard work.
Talked about governance, they have talked about communication, they have talked about polarization. So I think there is a lot that has been put in place that if we as an opera are able to bring this, the decisions that we take as far as all these themes are concerned to the world, I think the world will come out with a new type of human being, a new type of person, a person who finds the opportunity to consider the other human person as a brother.
We come from a war-torn zone, a zone in conflict, a place that doesn't believe in a united world. So coming to the assembly from day one, seeing this hall, in the end we said, what on earth is this? A miracle. So may they all be one is something real that can be lived out. At a certain point, we wanted to call out to the world and say, come and see that it is possible, that we can live together without wars, without hatred. We can live in peace together.
Chiara left us this legacy, to be a family. Since we arrived here, we have truly experienced this. So it is very important in these times to live out the meaning of family and share it with the world.
I've spent a lot of time working as a conductor of an orchestra with young people and children. So when we were talking about governance, a comparison came to mind, an image, to think that someone who, for example, directs the movement could be compared to a conductor. And the first thing that occurred to me was that the person is the only one in the orchestra who does not play. And so they must prepare themselves very thoroughly with the score. They must know the instruments, how they work and what they do. And then they must give very precise cues. That is, not too much and not too little. What they want to hear must first be within them. When I was with these young people, and I realized that they were starting to play together, to breathe as one, to move as one, to find a shared rhythm, I felt I could almost fade into the background. And that is what I would wish for anyone who leads or governs, or indeed anyone who holds a position of responsibility, whether in the movement or elsewhere.
The General Assembly elects not only the President and Co-President, but also the group of councillors who work together both to keep the contact between the International Centre and the various geographical areas alive and active, and to address the practical aspects of life, such as work, the communion of goods, communication. Here is a video which at least shows their faces. We will get to know them better in the next months, and we'll know what tasks they will have. Let's look at this.
Together, at least you get to know some of these new councillors. So next to me is Raphael. Raphael comes from Cameroon. You're a lawyer, right? And for the movement, just imagine up to this moment, you have followed as co-responsible the communities of the Focolare in 24 countries in the Central and Eastern Europe, and now you need to change. What does it mean for you now to leave everything and come here as a councillor? I must say, for me, it was an experience of God, truly, when I heard that there was this risk of being elected. I really had to discern within myself, listening to my brothers in the Focolare, but also other people that know us. And at the end, it seemed to me that Jesus was asking me that same yes I had pronounced when I entered into Focolare. A different yes, but still the same. To follow him, to serve the work of God there where he takes me. Now to be here, I come serene, and I know that only in unity, in the love that we will have among us, all of us councillors, Jesus will give us his light to know what to do. Paolo, I have something at heart. I really want to greet all the communities where I was. That's in French.
Greetings to you all from Abuja, from Onitsha, Sierra Leone, all of you listening to me. You are in my heart. Thank you very much for everything. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Raphael. And from now, all the best with your work.
A te Andrea. Andiamo avanti, sì. Allora, c'è un piccolo cambio di programma perché ne approfittiamo.
Because we make the most of this to greet also all those councillors, men and women, who have ended their mandate. Many are here, right here in this hall. Many of them will return to the various communities around the world, so we want to give them a huge clap to thank them, truly. Because for all the work, the service of all these, of over these years. And please allow me to give a special greeting to Jesus Moran. Because, come here, Jesus, please. Right here. Because Jesus, after 11 and a half years, has completed his mandate as co-president and has passed on the baton to Roberto. So, this part has come to an end. Yes. What have you got in your heart right now? I'm truly happy. I imagine that. Your look in your face tells everything. No, I'm really happy because it's been really demanding years of resurrection, of life, of very beautiful years. I've had the grace, the good fortune of working with the two presidents after Chiara, both Maria Voce and Margaret Karam, and I've tried to do my best, certainly with the limitations of the human condition, of my own personal limits, but I've tried my best. And therefore, all I can do is thank God and thank everyone around the world, but especially those with whom I have lived and worked, which are, and they're right here. And over these last few days during the assembly, somebody said, you've written a book on creative unity. Now you have to write one on the conclusive faithfulness. But in the meantime, I've written another book, actually. And Città Nuova told me to promote it a little bit. Very different book. Comes more from my heart. And I promise you, it's simple, easy to read. Therefore, I thank everyone. Thank you from my heart. Thank you, Jesus. Andrea.
So what we weren't able to do before, we are able to do it now. So we are connected with Ardita. Ardita is from Costa Rica, and she has also been elected as a councillor, and she is now traveling. So, Ardita, we want to ask you, when they asked you if you were willing to stand as a candidate, was it clear for you that you could leave everything and come here to the center? Hello, everyone. I'm really moved. It wasn't so clear because we are on the lists, but for me, this assembly was a time of deep discernment in the spirit. Every moment of the program, especially in my relationship with others, led me on a journey, I would say, through the desert as a special place for a deep encounter with God. And with great doubts and uncertainties about my candidacy, I thought the most coherent thing to do would perhaps be to continue what I was doing up until now with the indigenous peoples of the American continents or Colombia. And I also take advantage to greet all the communities there and the Colombia that is still scarred by violence, or to stay close to my elderly parents who are in their 90s. But nothing I thought of gave me complete peace. I think through the intercession of Mary, where I clearly felt her bringing me back down to earth with my feet on the ground so that I could run like a child towards the Father. And I can say that that was the moment that that I should put myself in His hands. Thank you, Ardita. Thank you. And then welcome here to the center as soon as you can come back. Thank you. Yes, I'm going to go back to Colombia, but then we will see each other soon. Count on me. Thank you.
Immaginate che per un evento come questo, questa assemblea,
as many people are collaborating for Assembly from many parts of the world. And even during the last weeks here, there has been a large team that has been working to ensure that all participants could be welcomed and feel at home and that everything could be a success. Would you like to take a peek behind the scenes? Let's have a look.
We have come here to the Mariapoli Center in Castel Gandolfo to find out what is going on behind the scenes of the 2026 General Assembly of the Work of Mary. Let's go and see.
Andiamo.
What does it mean to host this assembly?
For us, it's a very special moment to support and be at the service of all the members and participants of the General Assembly in this important time. Here we handle the initial reception of all those taking part, and then their meals and accommodation, the practical organization within the building, and the preparation of the different spaces.
We prepared this menu with the assembly in mind. We also considered that if you have a meal in front of you that is made well, with love, this can always resolve many issues. Therefore, as a kitchen team, we also sought to harmonize everything with the various realities.
Translation in other languages allows us to cross borders. How important is this in this specific context?
The important thing is to truly understand in depth what the other person is saying. It is about ensuring that it's not just the words that are conveyed, but that the spirit passes through each person. So for me, the most important thing in a translation is to be invisible. And in this sense, it contributes to and fosters hope. It helps to build unity among people.
When there's a technical problem, how do you react?
We take a proactive approach, morning prayer, and then on we go. And we always consider alternatives. So option A, option B, option C. After that, we place our trust in the kindness of the assembly.
What does it mean to be a facilitator in the General Assembly?
We've had a series of preparatory teaching sessions on what to do, so that when the themes have been presented to those in the Assembly and they're divided into groups afterwards, we have been in those groups to help everybody to have a voice and then keep talking in different rounds of talks until together as a group we really understand what it is that the Holy Spirit is saying to this particular group.
Okay. Now, it's really so important to give a huge clap to all these people. It comes really as a need from the heart. They worked so hard and so well. And so many of them are right here, but behind. And they've made it possible for us to live through it, especially at least the very important parts of the Assembly. The Assembly came up to an ending yesterday, but with a very special thing, the audience with Pope Leo XIV. So let's leave some of the moments with him. You've all been attracted by the charisma of the servant of God, Chiara Lubich, who has shaped your personal existence and the style of your community life. This is the message of unity. Unity among human beings, which is the fruit and reflection of Christ's unity with the Father, that they may all be one, even as you, Father, are in me and I in you. You live the spirit of unity first and foremost amongst yourselves, and you bear witness to it everywhere as a new possibility for fraternal, reconciled and joyful life amongst people of different ages, cultures, languages and religious beliefs. There is a great need for this leaven of unity today, because the poison of division and conflict tends to contaminate hearts and social relationships, and it must be countered with the gospel witness of unity, dialogue, forgiveness and peace. Through you too, over the past decades, God has prepared a great people of peace, who at this very moment in history are called to act as a counterbalance and a shield against so many people who are sowing hatred and who are dragging humanity back to forms of barbarism and violence. You, dear friends, you have been entrusted with the responsibility to keep alive the charisma of your movement in the post-foundation phase. You are called to discern, together with your movement in the post-foundation phase, you are called to discern which aspects of your community life and your apostolate are essential and must therefore be maintained, and which, on the other hand, are instruments and practices that, although they have been in use for some time, are not essential to the charism or have presented problematic aspects and should therefore be given up. This phase also demands strong commitment to transparency on the part of those who hold roles of responsibility at all levels. The responsibility for common discernment entrusted to all of you also encompasses the way in which the charism of unity must be translated into styles of community life that allow the beauty of the gospel's newness to shine forth, and at the same time respect the freedom and conscience of individuals, valuing the gifts and uniqueness of each person. Unity is a gift, and at the same time a task and a call addressed to each one of us. Dear friends, let us thank the Lord together for the great spiritual family that was born from the charism of Chiara Lubich. I encourage you to continue on your journey, and I bless you wholeheartedly, invoking the intercession of the Virgin Mary upon you all, that she may protect you and always accompany you with her maternal help. Thank you.
An encounter that was very dense with so much content that we still have to go in depth, but we wanted to ask your impressions. Roberto, the Pope spoke of transparency, of involving everyone, and of following one's conscience. In the light of the experience that you have been living during these 3 weeks, how did these words resonate with you?
Good question. Well, thank you, Andrea, that you passed this on to me this morning, so I was able to get ready for it. I would like to say that first and foremost, in my heart, I felt that the Pope spoke to us like a father. He revealed that he knows the history of our movement very well. He was the superior of a religious family, a very important one, and understands the situation we are living following Chiara's death. His words invited us to a deep discernment, to distinguish between what is essential to the charism we have received and what has been added over time, which has sometimes led to complications, tensions, and conflicts. Some difficulties have stemmed from the way in which at times we have used certain instruments that are not gospel. The Pope has told us clearly that either we live out these instruments in a gospel-based way, or we risk living them out in a worldly way, as Pope Francis would have said, that is, marked also by sin. But if they lived well, the Pope said that make the life of the gospel blossom amongst us, but also the light that is in each one of us, in our conscience, our personality. Pope Leo's words have reconfirmed the work that we have been carrying out for the past 10 years or so now, listening to those who have suffered as a result of such behavior and adopting an approach that places the person at the center. So what the Pope has told us not only found us already walking on this path, but also encouraged us to continue with determination. But in addition to the encouragement, we have received a personal call to conversion, Because as we may commit ourselves to research, dialogue, and process of renewal, but if each one of us doesn't change from within, doesn't start opening, thinking of the others as oneself, then we are likely to continue with these not positive ways of doing things. So immediately I thought of the reforming structures that the Pope wants as something that will continue, and it has to do with our heart, with the personal conversion, rather than with institutional reforms. That without this personal conversion would have no sense, really. So a great gratitude to Pope Leo. Not just the encouragers, as you can see from the whole talk, if you read it, the gratitude he has, the recognition of the importance of the movement, but at the same time, he guides us, he teaches us to do better. Okay, Margaret, we lived again the whole of the assembly together. We lived that meeting with Pope Leo. Now, how to look at the future?
So also Pope Leo, we didn't hear everything that he said, which really is worthwhile listening to the whole thing because it's something marvelous. Also, all the rest what he said to us. But one particular thing that struck me is that the Pope said that unity must always be nourished by mutual love, by our mutual love. And he quoted St. Paul's letter to the Corinthians, first letter to the Corinthians, and says that love is calls for magnanimity, kindness, and respect. And in the spirit of what the Pope said, I would like to read to you a thought from Chiara that leads us to the heart of the movement, which is unity, which is taken from a link up in 1989. So Chiara says, which word is that the Holy Spirit imprinted like a seal on this house, on our movement? When God first thought of it and started forming it here on earth, we know what it is. The word is unity. Unity is the word that sums up our entire spirituality. Unity with God, unity with our neighbors, or rather, unity with our neighbors in order to reach unity with God. The Holy Spirit, in fact, revealed to us a way that is distinctly ours, a fully gospel-based way to unite us with God, to find God. We seek God and find Him by passing through our neighbor, by loving our neighbor. We find God when we strive to bring about unity with our neighbor, with every neighbor. I'm sure even with brothers and sisters, if we establish the presence of Jesus among us. Only in this way are we guaranteed unity with God. And we can find Him alive and beating in our hearts. It is this unity with God which then, in turn, urges us to go out to our neighbors and helps us to ensure that our love for them is not pretense, nor insufficient, or superficial, but rather is radical, full and complete, given substance through sacrifice, always ready to give our life, and capable of bringing about unity. Our statutes place unity at the basis of everything, as the norm of every norm, as the rule to be observed before every other rule. Unity is the word for us. It is the rock. We have no meaning in life except in this word, where everything acquires meaning. Our every action, every prayer, every breath. And if we concentrate on living this word, if we live it as well as we possibly can, everything will certainly be safe. We will be safe, and also that part of the movement entrusted to us will be safe. Perhaps in the future, the work of Mary, both as a whole or in some of the zones, will go through quite different times from what we are experiencing now, with so many consolations, fruits, light, fire. Moments of darkness or despair may well arise. There might be persecutions or temptations. The devil might try to destroy everything in 1,000 different ways. There might be misfortunes or disasters, but if we stand firm on the rock of unity, nothing can touch us. Everything will go ahead as before. And so, to answer your question, you asked me how we should look into the future, that we want to look at the future with this gaze. And this is what we lived in this assembly. We felt that we wanted to change, really have this turning point in living unity, which is the gift of God, that God gave it to us freely, and we want to live it and transmit it and bear witness to it with our lives, not with our words, but with our lives, wherever we are. And I came out of this assembly, I wanted to look at the future with this feeling, 2 words, turning points, which requires, as Roberto said before, it's asking a conversion, not only a conversion of our hearts, but also, I would say, a change of mindset, of how we live today in our times, how we live unity in our times. And we mustn't forget, we also started from this assembly not to forget the guidelines of the 2021 assembly, to be careful and to be aware of the cries of humanity today. And I think it's not less now than 5 years ago. I think it's even stronger. The suffering is even stronger than for many people that we know. But at the same time, we leave from this assembly with a lot of hope, because we see, with all that you have seen in this summary, this link up, we touch on many topics. But the most beautiful thing that we can say is that we all feel co-responsible, protagonists, and I think with a new enthusiasm to face the future of the movement, thinking and wanting with their commitment to be what the Pope said, to be leaven of unity. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Margaret and Roberto, for having shared your impressions and also reflections and this thoughts of Chiara. And we go back to Anita one last time. Anita, have we received other messages in the meantime? Yes, so many messages, wonderful, from the whole world. We share some of them with you. For example, from Brasilia, they say, "Good evening. The link up is stupendous. It opens our hearts, our souls towards our brothers and sisters from all over the world. It urges us to have our eyes fixed and to live more and more that they may all be one." And greetings from Sicily. We are with you in this historical moment of the confirmation of Margaret as president, and with the new co-president, Roberto Almada. We assure all our prayers. And another person. This link-up involves us with the family of Chiara, which is spread all over the world, celebrating the assembly. Focolare movement that was from the Focolare movement in Chile, and then greetings from Saint-Pierre de Chartreux in France. We are moved. And then from Ivory Coast, Nairobi, Kenya, from the community of Torreón in Spain, and Udine, Belluno, Ragusa in Italy, in Lithuania, Caracas in Venezuela, from different cities in Colombia, from Poland, from Buenos Aires, Salta, Rafaela, Concepcion in Uruguay, Washington, Los Angeles, United States, and many other places. It's impossible to name them all, but we thank you with all our hearts for all these messages and photos that are still being sent. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Anita, for your work. And thanks to all of you who continue to write and what you have written. So, we've reached to a pretty special moment because we are at the end of the link-up, but we cannot leave without having said first a great thank you. On the morning of Thursday, the 19th of March, we woke up to the news that Marco Leotti, the director who had directed this link-up from 2009 to 2021, had passed away. And you can imagine, it was an immense suffering. Marco worked for many years as a highly respected director for RAI, the Italian television network, bringing both passion and professionalism to his work. He covered events of great public, religious, and civic significance, and organized international events such as the 1993 Family Fest and the 1995 Genfest, which brought international attention to the Focolare movement. Many of us had the gift and privilege of working with him to redesign this particular link-up in the post-Chiara era. Through his guidance, passion, professionalism and vision, he helped us grow not only in our work, but also in how we view the world. And he taught us how to tell its story. Working with him has always been a challenge, with his way of constantly pushing us to go beyond our limits, so that every piece of news could become an opportunity to speak to everyone, truly everyone, even beyond the Focolare movement. He was witty, down to earth, never intrusive, yet deeply present. He believed in the young people, formed them, guided them, and inspired them. Thanks to him, many of us have chosen a career in communications. So, Marco, for everything, for what you've taught us, for how, the way you've taught us to see the world, from all of us, a huge thank you.
Bene, siamo alla conclusione.
So we've come to the end of our time together, also quite emotional. And so our next appointment, the next link up, is for the 20th of June, 2020, 20th of June 2026.
On the 20th of June, but watch out, there could be some news. So our advice is to continue to follow us on all our social media, focolare.org, so that you may receive all the updates. We greet you now, we greet and thank these wonderful people here with us. And thanks again to Margaret and Roberto, and we'll be together soon. Bye-bye.
Until next time.